Hi, I'm Anastasia from Natural Flow Yoga, and today we'll do a gentle practice that's perfect for those days when you prefer to take it easy and you still want to engage with your body, with your mind, and spend some time on your mat. So we start sitting, and first let's wake our body up a little bit. We're going to clap the hands together, and you're going to rub them. And you can rub them quite vigorously. We want to build up some heat between the hands, like you're trying to make a little fire. And once you feel that there's some fire building up between your hands, then you can place them on your face. You can gently massage into your temples. And all the muscles around your ears, around your jaw. And it's quite surprising how much tension we can hold in the muscles of our face. Right, also this big muscle right here where the upper jaw attaches to the lower jaw. And all the muscles around the edge of the lower jaw. All of those. And if you like, you can also get into your hair a little bit. You can scratch a little, massage a little bit in there. Whatever feels good. And we're going to give a bit of a squeeze in our neck, all the way from the shoulders to the base of the skull, around the sides, around the back. And don't be scared, you can really get your hands in there. And the same thing we do with the shoulders. Those big muscles on top where most people hold quite a lot of tension. You can go as strong or as gentle as you would like, but the goal is to wake up our skin, to wake up the circulation, wake up the nerve endings, loosen up, warm up a little bit. And with the arms, we're going to rub them. Just like we did with the hands earlier, we're going to give them a good rub on all the sides, on the front, on the back. Building up some heat there as well. And then the same thing you can do with your belly, with your chest, and with the sides of your body. Moving on to the lower back, and the middle of your back, wherever you can reach, from the buttocks until where your hands can go. And the legs. And the legs we're going to do on all the sides as well. You're going to rub them at the front, at the back, the insides, and the outsides of the legs. Give them a good rub. And with the legs, it's also really nice to tap. Don't be scared. You're not going to hurt yourself. It's nice if you do that vigorously enough to create a light tingle. And you do that on all the sides as well. And then you can get a hold of one of your feet. And we're going to rub that down a little bit. So we generally don't pay too much attention to our feet, but we walk around on them all day. So it's pretty awesome that we have feet. You can squeeze a couple of times into that big muscle in the middle. And say hi to each toe individually, giving it a little squeeze, a little twist. And then you can tap on your foot. And we're going to do the same thing with the other foot. Give that a little rub, a little squeeze. And that should feel pretty good right there. I also like to gently twist the little bones in my feet, kind of move them around between my hands, feeling the space that is between them. And also on this side, you can say hi to each toe individually. That's that. And then let's get over to our hands and knees and push ourselves back for a nice child's pose. And you can have your knees as wide or as close together as feels good for you. You can sway a little bit side to side. And then come down for a few breaths in child's pose. And you can make your neck long. Release your belly. And allow a couple of deep, natural breaths to create a wave of motion through your whole body. And then, as if somebody is collecting you, pulling you up from the waist to the ceiling, you're going to round the spine. Bring yourself all the way up on your hands and knees, tail tucked under, chin to the chest. And with an inhale, drop the belly down, open up. Exhale, push around. Inhaling, open up. And exhale, push to round. Just one more. Inhaling, open. And exhale, push. And then from here we'll tuck the toes and come up to a very gentle downward facing dog. You can keep your knees a little bit bent. You can sway your hips side to side and spend a couple of breaths here playing around. You can twist a bit into one side, twist a bit into the other side, exploring, lengthening in the sides of your body. You can shake your head yes and no. And then you slowly walk your hands back to your feet. So you will end up all the way at the back of your mat. And there you can grab your elbows for a moment. Hang down. Release your head, release your shoulders. You can keep your knees bent. And let your spine lengthen all the way out.
And you can release your arms, bend your knees a little deeper, and start to roll up, letting your head be the last thing to come up, all the way to standing. And let's roll our shoulders back. A big inhale up, and exhale lower. Inhale up. Exhale. One more. Exhale. And then you can close your eyes for a moment and feel your feet grounded in the floor. You can let your arms relax, let them hang next to your body. You can keep the knees a little bit soft. And allow your natural breath to travel freely. Feel all your toes on the floor. Feel the sides of your feet and your heels. Relax your jaw, your forehead, and let your neck and your shoulders be free. And perhaps you can notice that a pose, a balance, even as simple as this one, is never rigid. It's always a little bit in movement, always fluid. Exhale. And then you open your eyes into a soft gaze. And we'll do a very short walking meditation just until the front of our mat. You're going to slowly shift all the weight of your body into one foot. You can feel how the pressure on the other foot becomes less and less until eventually it leaves the mat. You move it a little bit forward, and then you start to gradually transfer the weight of your body into the front foot, the right foot for me now. And as if you're pouring a glass of water into another glass, you transfer all the weight in there. Feel the pressure increase until you stand on that foot. Pick up the other one and shift it forward. So like this, you're gonna gently, gradually walk. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the ground under your feet. Keep breathing. Try not to become rigid. Keep your body quite soft, quite natural, a little bit like water, right? We don't need to become stiff to hold ourselves. Let it flow. Keep your knees a little bit soft. And flow all the weight, all the energy from your body, slowly, from one foot into the other. Check your face, if it's still soft. Check your fingers. Check your breath. Until eventually you arrive all the way to the front of your mat. And there, with an inhale, you're going to reach the arms high up and reach as if you're really reaching for the ceiling. Let go a little bit of doing a yoga pose, like a child reaching up. And with an exhale, release down. Really let go everything. Let your head hang down. Let your knees be soft. Let your spine be heavy. Then with an inhale, the knees still bent, you lengthen the spine, you look forward, as if you want to check what's between the bushes over there. And then with an exhale, find your child's pose. Push back, round. Inhaling on the hands and knees, open up the chest, arch. And exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Step forward, look forward, long spine, and let go. Release. Come all the way up. Reach up. And back to standing. We do that again. Reach up, inhale. Fold, exhale. Lengthen, head up. Child's pose, exhale. Open your chest. Push back, exhale. Step forward, inhale. Fold, exhale. Reach all the way up and back to standing. We continue the same little sequence. This very gentle sun salutation. And feel free to explore these movements. Find a natural roundness, a fluidity in those movements. See if you can move with your breath. Allow your breath to take you into each movement. Let it round you with your exhales. And let it open you up with the inhales. Let the movements be real and full. Inhaling, reach up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, open. Child's pose, exhale. Open, inhale. Push back, exhale. Step forward, inhale. Fold, exhale. Come all the way up. And we do 2 more like that. It can be a little bit different each time. It's up to you. Your practice, your body. Inhale. Exhale. Open up. And push back. Step forward, inhale. And release. All the way up. Exhale. Last time, reaching it up and forward. Open the chest. Child's pose, round. Open, head up. Push back, exhale. Step forward, inhale. And exhale. Come all the way up. Exhale. Bend your knees, reach up. And fold. Open the chest.
child's pose. Exhale. Now from here, step your right foot forward. You can either place it between your hands or you can step it a little bit more to the outside. That's okay. And give your body a couple of moments here to find a bit of deepening. And it's all right if you don't come as low. Right? This is your time. Use it to loosen up your body wherever it needs. And we're not looking for any particular shape. We're rather looking for sensations of lengthening. Whatever is stuck, we want to give it some space to become unstuck. And here we're going to stay for a little bit longer. If you like, you can use something like a pillow under your back leg, like this. So then the floor is not so far away. And if it feels good for your body, you can also opt to lower down, either on your forearms, if that feels okay, or maybe you have another pillow that you can put there. I'm just going to spend a couple of breaths here. And it's up to you whether you stay in stillness or you very gently allow your body to move from side to side. Now for me it feels pretty good to let my right knee sink to the side, to let it rest on the outside of the foot. You may or may not find that this also feels nice for you, so feel free to experiment with that. And then we'll start to find the support of our hands again. And if you had that pillow, you can move it a little bit. And we're going to walk our foot all the way over to the left side of the mat. And here you can sit down right on that same pillow. Now for some people this is really not needed, right? Some people might be able to just sit on the ground like this. If that's you, then that's perfectly fine. For others, it might feel better to have something to sit a little bit higher, so you have more space. Right, and also here, you can either stay up, maybe you like to interlace your fingers, stretch out your arms. That is an option. Or maybe it feels good for you to lower down. Right, whatever is your angle today. Give your body a little bit of space to find it. And we take a few breaths here. And if you were down with your body, you can bring yourself up again. You can support on your left hand. And with our right hand, we're going to move into a gentle twist here. You're going to reach up through the back. Inhale. And circle back, front. Exhale. 2 more of these. Inhaling, big circle. And exhale to the front. Last one. Big inhale. And circle back. Exhale. And then you can lift yourself a little bit up. And find your child's pose for a few breaths. Let the hips lower down to the heels. Let your forehead find the mat. And let go for a few breaths. Then you find yourself back to your hands and knees. And this time your left foot steps forward. And wherever feels logical for you, either more on the outside, more on the inside. And like we did on the other side, give your body a little bit of time there to find some depth in the pose. You might find that the one side feels quite different from the other side. That's okay. That's normal, as our bodies are not symmetrical and our lives are not symmetrical. Whatever you need, whatever works for you here, that's where you should be. And again, I'm going to use a pillow. For me, that feels really good. If you feel like, you can also try. And generally, you want to have it above your kneecap. So you don't want to have it under your kneecap. That's usually not so nice. You might need 2 or 3 pillows, depending on where your body is willing to go. And also here, you can either stay up or you can lower down onto your forearms and feel where your body likes to be. So today, for me, it feels good to allow for a little bit of movement there. And I'll make sure that if you choose to allow for some movement, that it doesn't become this frantical wiggling around, right? We want to create awareness of what is happening inside our body. We want to be connected and to feel what is the effect of our movement on the sensations in this opening. We want to move with our breath. Allow it to be full and free. To support the stretch. Now, if you were down, you can start to bring yourself up onto your hands again. I'm going to move that pillow a little bit to the left so that when I step my left foot to the other side of the mat, I can sit on it like this. Now, for demonstration, this is how you would sit. For my body, usually it feels a little bit better to remove the pillow, so I will do this. And also here, you can either stay up or you can come down. So if you come down, that creates a bit more of an opening sensation here at the back of your left leg. If you would choose to stay up, or maybe even interlace your fingers, stretch back. This is also a really nice variation to the pose. Then the opening generally shifts a bit more to the front of your right leg. So wherever you need it the most. Or maybe you want to stay up here, right in the middle, and with some gentle movement right to left, depending on how you shift your weight, alternate between these two sensations. And also on this side, we'll make some circles into a gentle twist. This time with your left arm, you're going to reach all the way behind you. And exhaling, circle through the front. Inhaling, reach far behind you. Exhale, back to the front. Last one. Reach up, inhale. And back to the front. Exhale. And then you push into your hands again. Collect yourself into child's pose. Take a few breaths. hands and knees. You're going to lay down on your belly. We're going to spread I'm just going to move this a little bit to the back. We're going to spread our arms out like a big letter T. And for this pose, if you hold them higher than your shoulder, generally that's a bit more intense an opening. If you have them straight out to the side, that's, well, a little bit less intense, but for most people just fine. And then the lower you hold them, the less you will feel. And if they're all the way down, you are out of the pose. So let's stay kind of in the middle for now. You're going to push yourself with your left hand onto your right side, like this. Then I'm going to lay down. I'm going to collect my knees a little bit up. And this will be a twisting sensation. So I just come up to show you. The stretch is on the whole inner side of the right arm, through the armpit, the chest, across all the way through the left hip. So laying in here like this, I can play around with how much I put my weight back. Some people like to have their left knee bent like this. Some like to have it straight. If that feels a little bit too intense, you can also keep your knees together. Perfectly fine. Right, and spend a couple of breaths letting your body figure out how to be here today. If you like, you can also put a little bit of a blanket or a pillow under your head if that feels better. I'm not going to stay here too long, just a few breaths to loosen up. And turn back to your belly. And do the same thing on the other side. From this letter T, this time you're going to push yourself onto your left side. And let your lower body crawl into this pose in whichever way feels good. So you want to look for a nice opening through the left arm, armpit, chest. And you can use the weight of this leg, of your lower body, to regulate how much of a twist you want to feel. Take a few nice and deep breaths here. And then you collect yourself all the way back to your belly and push to your hands and knees. Now we're going to cross our legs to come to sitting. And we're going to use a pillow or a blanket, a rolled up blanket to lay on for a little moment. So with a pillow, that's generally a bit more intense. You place it right under your shoulder blades, like this. And then you can have your head down, your arms open, and the soles of your feet together. So this is one option. With your heart pressing up high. Like this, you can relax over your pillow. Maybe you would like to put blankets or pillows under your knees. Maybe you would like to have your head a little bit higher. So these are options to make the pose nicer. If you feel that this is not quite comfortable, you could also try a rolled up blanket like this, that you then place also right under your shoulder blades. So it's a little bit different, generally more gentle. Also here you could support your knees if you would like. And now towards the end of our practice, here we're going to stay for a little while.
with those deep, natural breaths, you can start to explore in your body which parts are quite easy to let go and which parts tend to hold on. See if with each exhale you can invite yourself to melt, to relax your jaw, the tongue inside your mouth, to soften your eyes, allowing them to sink to the center of your skull, and to relax all the skin on top of your head. Let your fingers be soft and your arms lay down in whichever way is natural. Right? It can be an opening, but it shouldn't feel stressful. And see if you can allow your shoulders, your chest, your spine to melt over your pillow or your blanket. Allow your hips to be free, soft. And we often hold a lot of tension in our hips. And each body has its own favorite spots to hold on. And you might notice that you consciously release, and all by itself, after a few breaths, it holds back again. And that's okay, that's normal. And with kindness and curiosity, you can observe these patterns in your own body. And with each exhale, invite them to let go. To let go of any holding in your pelvic floor, in your belly, allowing it to rise and fall in its own natural rhythm, to fill up with air, and empty again. Let your legs be heavy, melt into the ground. Exhale. We stay here just a few more breaths. And then you can start to bring your knees back together again. And roll yourself to one side just a little bit. So with one hand you can remove your pillow or a blanket, and then let yourself roll back for a couple of breaths in Shavasana. There's nothing you need to do here. You can let your body lay in whichever way feels nice, where nothing is pushing, nothing is pulling. For a couple of moments you can rest and integrate. You can feel how the breath flows through your body, how it travels from the middle, from the chest and the belly, all the way out like ripples on a lake. And perhaps you can feel that breath in each point down on the floor. Your heels, your calves, your thighs and your buttocks, your back and shoulders, your arms, hands, and the back of your head. And just a couple more breaths. Stay here. Enjoy. And follow that wave with your mind. And whenever you feel ready, you can allow for some gentle movement again in your own way, waking up your body. It's usually nice to start with smaller movements, maybe with the fingers and the toes. And whatever feels good, maybe you want to stretch yourself out. If any movement feels like it wants to be made, allow all of that to happen. And usually after a yoga practice, we have this window when all our senses are a bit sharper and we're a bit more tuned in to what our body's telling us. And if your practice doesn't feel complete, if there's anything you would like to do, then don't think too much about it, just do it, just go with it. Any movement that's good to make, any stretch that's good to do, take your time until it feels ready. For now, I will go back to sitting, but in the comfort of your own home, of course, feel free to stay a bit longer. And that was our practice for today. Thank you for this togetherness. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.